DJ Durong from Hot 702.5 in Las Vegas. It's time to come together. Rainbow Dreams Educational Foundation presents the 24th annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival, going down Saturday, June 21st from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Expo at World Market Center, and it's free to the public. Catch R&B icon Tweet live on stage, plus performances by Kiss Kiss and the Squad, Darnell Alexander, Unk and the Nephews, and Las Vegas's pop princess Ray Millie. Hosted by DJ Ambeezy with Not a Boy DJ and DJ Kelly J on the ones and twos. Stop by and visit the Hot 702.5 FM live remote tent and check in with our on-air personalities. Shop the vendor marketplace, hit up the food trucks, and enjoy surprise guests throughout the night. Presented in partnership with Google, MGM Resorts International, Live You Equals You in the city of Las Vegas. Come together this Juneteenth weekend to celebrate freedom with Tweet and Rainbow Dreams. Get your e-ticket now and be entered to win one of our fabulous prizes. Visit June19LV.com. That's June19LV.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot702.5fm.com.
What is the deal, good people? What is the good? Welcome and happy Let's Talk Love Thursday. I'm so happy you guys chose to come here and be here with us at the hottest, sexiest station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM, to talk some love with us today. I am your favorite love prescriber, Miss Love Doctor, and where there is love, there is always inner beauty. So y'all say what's up to my beautiful co-hosts.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl Beauty on the Beat here. Excited on a Thursday.
Yes, and we don't only focus on talking love and having conversations about love. We are always want to be heart relatable to somebody who has a heart, which I'm sure if you're watching the show, you have one. And if we don't want to talk love, we want to share love. So if nobody has told you that they loved you today, we would definitely like to be the first. We love you guys.
We love you.
Be sure to share this with other humans like yourself. Comment, show some love, drop some hearts, 702-551-5261. We would definitely like to talk love with you. And for today's check-in, we will be we're gonna tap in with some young hearts today. And so in a way, what we have going on is we have a guest of love in the building today. We have a few guests of love in the building today.
I'm excited.
And it is June, so there is a lot of things that are going on.
Move back.
There's a lot of things that are going on this month. It is Men's Mental Health Month.
Oh, wow.
So
and Father's Day.
It's been on my heart though this last couple of days, like the few days we've been in it, that it is Men's Mental Health, and it just makes me think about the fact that we have such a back and forth thing about men and women and women and men and this cat and that dog and the mouse and the cat, and it's just, I don't know. It's like we are all struggling, and it's like I really want men to feel seen, heard, understood.
Okay.
That you are experiencing a lot of the same similar things that the opposite sex of you is experiencing. But it's also Juneteenth. So we all know how important that is to most of us. Should be all of us, but we're going to be keeping it real. And so for our first guest of love, we have a former Radio City Music Hall Rocketeer from New York, now residing in Las Vegas. With a degree in musical theater, her extensive credit spans live performances, studio sessions, commercials, films, television, print, runway, conventions, piano bars, brand theaters, impersonator tributes, tours, and cruises. Crowned Classic Universe Woman 2023 through 2024. She continues to shine as a performer, having toured with a tribute to the legendary Marvelettes and currently contributing her talents to Radiance, a dynamic female quartet tribute that's the ladies of Motown and R&B. We're going to have to go, friend. She is also serves as a dedicated event committee volunteer for WSDBA, director of Miss Juneteenth Nevada Sponsorship Program pageant, and media coach for the National Miss Juneteenth Scholarship Program. A true Renaissance woman, she is a certified coach, author, singer, choreographer, TV host, flight attendant, mother, and more. She's the founder and director of Witness and Performance Arts, Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to mentorship and performing arts and training. This woman is guided by faith and gratitude and continues to share her gifts with the world by living the words of Mark 9:23. Everything is possible for him who believes. You guys, please give it up for Miss Marquis Monday.
Hey, everybody.
How dope is that? Hello,
That's beautiful.
hello.
Thank you so much for being our guest of
thank you.
love.
Thank you for having me. I do appreciate it. Agape as always, right?
Right?
Agape is the only way. Yes, yes, yes.
You speaking her language.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, Miss Monday. How we doing today?
Hi, how are you? Good.
We are so
good.
excited
Long day.
to have you in the studio. It's a little I feel like it's a little not pixelated, but delayed, okay?
It's not.
It wasn't okay.
Okay.
How are you doing today?
Good. You know, it's been a long day.
Man, hasn't
And
it?
it's
Hasn't
not over
it?
yet. It ain't
It is
over.
not.
Mm-mm.
Gotta keep pushing. So today, we don't have to do the check-in, but we do definitely ask how you're doing because we want to know how you're doing, and we typically would do a check-in, but we have some other young ladies that you have a company with you.
Yes. Oh, I'm all like, yeah. So we have two other delegates that we have in the studio. One in the studio that is very special to me. And this is something that I am so excited to be able to, I feel like LeBron James. When you put your baby on, it's like, wait a minute. Okay. We're going to introduce to the Let's Talk Love House, Aubrey Lilly. And then we also have, we have Aubrey Lilly here. That's my last and only, last of the Mohicans, my only baby girl here.
Welcome to Let's Talk
Hey,
Love,
Bree
Aubrey.
Bree. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling good?
Yes.
We have a busy week this week, correct?
Yes.
How you been feeling?
Kind of nervous.
Nervous?
But I think I'm gonna be okay.
You think you're gonna be okay? Well, what I like about what Miss Love Doctor does on the show, we do have a check-in where we kind of like ask the question of like if it's like what our love meter is today. I think that's always something that I enjoy. What is your love meter today? Meaning, like, how do you feel? What do you feel in your love?
In your heart.
In your heart. In your heart.
I think I feel like maybe let's say 70%
70% what?
love in
Love?
my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
70%. Okay.
Okay.
So you feel 70% of love in your heart. All right. Is there any reason why you feel only 70%?
No, I just
Okay. I'm going to take it to Miss Marquis Monday. How's your love meter today?
I think my love meter's off the scale today. Definitely off the scale. Over the top, 150%.
Wow, I love that.
The love that I see you put into these girls and like what you do and your essence of how you show up, no matter if you're tired, sleepy, hangry, okay, you always have a smile on your face. Is that,
This is what I say to them. Yeah. This is what I say to them. So if I'm not doing it, then I think I just lost you guys. Where
We hear you, baby.
He's
my
still
phone?
here.
Okay, you can hear me and see me. Everything is good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what I'm working with the young ladies, if I'm not showing up and doing it, if I'm not being that example, then it doesn't make sense, right? Right,
Okay.
Bree, Aubrey.
Yes.
Right,
She
there you
just
go.
smiling. Okay. So I have a few questions just in general. Your repertoire, how you your introduction was beautiful, right? Because you have a lot. You've
Thank
been
you.
in New York, correct? As a rocket?
Right, I was born and raised in New York. Yes.
Period. Okay.
That resume
Concrete
was
jungle.
impressive.
Mm-hmm. So,
How do we secure tickets, VIP tickets to what you're currently doing?
man,
Um, well, you're going to the pageant tomorrow, aren't you?
on
Yes.
Sunday. Mm-hmm.
And
And the
you're going
fashion
to the
show.
fashion show tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
My
Yes.
friends, they be
I think,
pulling
I'll
up.
I
be
think,
there.
They be pulling up. I appreciate my village. Okay. So we're going to just go in a little bit about who you are. And I really want the
sure.
world to know how, like, what inspired you to do Miss Juneteenth, the scholarship program for young girls.
Um, as she was reading, she talked about Witness Performing Arts, and that was a dance company and a performing arts company where I taught children 3 to 18 years old, teaching dance from the biblical and technical aspects. And then I asked God to release me from that, and we went into the pandemic. So after we came through the pandemic, of course, there was a opening in my life. And God said, well, we need to fill that. And I said, okay, I'm game. Let's go, God. What are we doing? And I met Dee Evans, and that's Deborah Evans. She's the president of Juneteenth, Nevada. And I said, wow, Juneteenth, I'd really like to learn more about this. And so we began having conversations. She invited me to the national organization. They had their pageant in Galveston, Texas, which of course I learned all of the history. I'm listening to it and going through and going, wow, this is incredible, because out of all of the schooling I had, nobody had told me these things. And my parents are from Confederate states. My parents are from Virginia and Atlanta. And I didn't know that. What I did know is that my parents were sharecroppers. And I said, so how many people out there are like myself that don't know this information? And then I said, okay, if there are people my age that don't know this information, what's happening to our younger generation? And of course, being in the entertainment business, we are watching to see what exploits are happening in the industry. And I said, yeah, not on my watch. That's just not going to happen. Because again, coming from a dance background, when you go to the Bible to find out about dance, dance is very powerful, to the point that the king was going to give this little girl, for dancing at his birthday party, up to half of his kingdom. Anything she wanted, up to half of his kingdom. And she went to her mother and she said, Mommy, what should I ask him for? And her mother was doing something foul and did not like something that a prophet had said. And she said, I want the head of John the Baptist on a platter. And because the king had said that he would give her whatever she asked for, that's when they killed John the Baptist and brought the head on a platter. All because of her dance. And that's the point.
Wow.
So dance is very, very powerful. And as you see in our society, we live in Vegas. We live in Sin City. We understand what dance does. People come here to see it all the time, whether it's in the theater or in the club. So I felt, you know what? These young ladies, they need to have this information and know. Now, what you do with it after the fact, but as long as you have that information, then I've been of service, and I've paid it forward to our younger generation. So we always have a choice, right? Are we going
That's
with
beautiful.
God, or
Man.
are we going with? So we have our young ladies, and when Miss D said to me, "Would you be interested?" I said, "Absolutely." I said, "Really,
Right?
God?" He said, "Yep." I said, "Okay, here we go." I said, you have to make a way out of no way. You got to make a way, and
Yeah.
so He does. He makes a way.
All the
So because
time.
He makes a way, yes, right, exactly, all the time.
all the
Oh
time.
man.
And it's such a beautiful thing when you can look back and witness the process. You're
Mhm.
in it. You're in it. But when you
Mhm.
witness exactly what happened, you're like, okay,
Man.
okay, God, I see what you did there.
Like, ooh. When you say the way
I
make
feel
a
like
way
I'm
out of
in it
no
right
way.
now. Like I'm in it. So
Aw.
I don't know.
Yes.
I want to look back and see what is forming. What is he
Mm.
putting together and brewing for me? Because I can feel it.
You can feel it coming.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
love your
what you just
words.
said there.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
No,
was going
you're
to say what she just said there. She said, to look back and witness, right? Witness Performing Arts is the name of the nonprofit corporation that I have, that I work with children and young adults.
I'm
Witness,
coming to work
walk,
there.
walk
That
in
was
the
the
New
calling. I'm coming to
Testament.
work there.
Uh-huh. So you walk in the New Testament, WIT, New Testament, experiencing spirit and scripture.
Oh wow.
That's beautiful.
You
Gotta
made
know.
the
You gotta
acronym
know.
period.
Absolutely. You
That's
gotta know.
beautiful. Wow.
Thank you. I
I
much,
love
much
that.
appreciate it. Thank you.
When I say that when I first met you, it was you were so pleasant. When I started working with the JCL last year, just thanks to Talitha, last name is Burris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She and I was just
Samantha
like
Kume.
Kume. I love that part,
Yes.
Miss Kume. But she was just like, oh well, I have something going on. I wanted my daughter to always be a Girl Scout. Like that was something that I always said because my boys were Boy Scouts. So I was like, oh wow, wow. Well, COVID happened. You see my daughter coming in. Why it didn't happen? COVID happened, and there was a lot of things that were shut down for you to be able to participate. And as the years went past, and I always wanted her to be involved with the community. So knowing that and moving out here and being so close with Tasha, she was in the community. So as soon as I got to hang with her, I got to see what community really looks like and how to really, know how to be around and trying to want to change things because that was something that has always been like important to me. So being able to hand that to my kids was very important as well. So it was nice that we were able to do that here.
I agree though. We met at my clothing donation drive and she came and she brought some tiaras and the girls were able to try them on.
Aw.
And we all took pictures. So when she said it, I was like, oh my God. She's like, you know who I'm talking about, right? I'm like, yes, I do know exactly who you're talking about
Wow.
because I remember. And then every time we see each other, it is always just such a warm, loving feeling whenever you're around. So I
It's
appreciate you being with these
positive.
girls as well.
Thank you. Thank you. And you as well. You as well, because you're
Thank
right.
you.
Every time we run into each other now, it's this positive tip, and we're looking to see what direction we're moving with these young ladies. So we're going to try to bring this together.
Let's go. All
Yes,
right.
we are. So, it was one. I have one more question for you about like how has the program in your eyes have grown over the years since you've been doing it? I know last year we got to meet gorgeous Charlie and her spirit and her light, but I haven't known anything else before that.
Well, I came into the Miss Juneteenth fold so 2 years ago with a pageant, and we had appointed a queen. Now, again, because you were there last year and you're there with me actively this year, going through every part of it, you can see the challenges that we go through. And that is just
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to happen all the time. Families have challenges and so on and so forth. Our first queen, she was a challenge, but she did get to go off to college. She did receive her scholarship money, and we are not still in contact. But because I travel, I have seen her in her travels, and she
Mm.
has really taken that next step into becoming a responsible young lady. And she's moving herself around and going off to college. And so I have no idea if she will see this or not, but I want to give her props because she has now stepped into that next realm. And there is a big difference. Aubrey and I were talking a little bit today in the car while we were driving about independence, about knowing your surroundings, about just being aware of things. That's a huge transition, because this morning it was, do you mind if I take a nap? And this afternoon it was, oh, I recognize this. I see where we are. That's
Mm-hmm.
change. And so the
Small
first
teachings.
queen that was right, this first queen that we had, she is off and in college. She is moving about and doing her thing. I don't have any personal conversations with her going on to see, but I can tell you, looking from a distance, and when you're standing outside the window looking at some, you're like, see. So I could see that. And to talk about the ambassadors from last year, I am over the moon. Charlie was an incredible queen, and she had an incredible court with her. Each one of those young ladies, from the time I met them till now, have taken strides that have just most of them are working now. Um, Courtney's in college. She's going off to college now. Charlie is just, I can't say enough about her. She has just grown. When she comes into the room, she knows exactly what she's supposed to be doing. Yes, Miss Marquis, what do you need me to do? Charlie, you're going to be reading this or taking care of that. Or I need you to introduce this, work with that. She's just boom, 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 right on it. And so I can only just be just over the moon, really, because she's taken that next step, and she's only a sophomore. So what are we going to see when she graduates?
Yeah. Yeah. What if you poured into
So
her?
I'm
Is she the one
super
who wears the
excited.
very cute glasses?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I have pictures with her as well. All right.
All right. So now I do want to talk a little bit about the specifics of Juneteenth, but I do want to get and ask my baby a few questions about her journey in this, because again, I always tell her, like, hey, I asked her, did she want to do this? Okay, because I don't ever want to push them into something that if they don't really want to do it, they're not going to do it with the best intentions or the best outcome for it, because they really don't really see the value. So how are your experience? If you can introduce your name and your app, well, we already know your name, but your age and everything, and what's going on with you and what you like about the Juneteenth pageant so far.
Hi, my name is Aubrey.
Speak up.
Oh, hi, my name is Aubrey.
Okay.
I'm 13 years old, and yeah, and
Okay.
Introduction.
You're 13 years old.
Oh, introduction. Okay. Hi, my name is Aubrey Lilly. I'm 13 years old. I have a passion for
Keep going, baby. Just keep going.
Okay.
You got this. Don't be shy. You got this.
Let me stop you for a second. Let's just stop for a second, because when you said you were nervous, I looked up ways that you can help with your nervousness, right? And this is new for you. Well, you've been kind of doing it all week, but we could do a couple of little mindful deep breaths just to kind of calm yourself.
Okay.
And then you can say what you want to say. What do you think about that? So we'll do three deep breaths.
Three deep breaths. Okay.
And just make them meaningful so that you can really center yourself to be ready. So you're just having a conversation with your mom and Miss Marquis and, your OG over here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a deep breath. And when you're ready, go ahead and speak.
Okay. Hi, my name is Aubrey Lilly. I'm 13 years old. I'm a delegate for Miss Juneteenth Nevada Henderson. I have a passion for performing arts, and my words to live by are: the harder you work for something, the better you'll achieve it. I show this through the commitment in improving my grades and pushing myself to do great every day.
Yes, Aubrey Lilly.
Yeah.
First of all, I love your passion and I love your words to live by. I'm going to put those in my little manifestation book tonight.
All right. So how do you feel about going into the freshman year free as a beauty queen?
I'm kind of excited. I'm ready for the experiences that comes with being a freshman and coming into high school. I think I'm really excited and ready for that.
Okay. I like that.
I think you're gonna crush it.
I like that in this program, they have the opportunity. When I seen all the graduates this year and when they were like, oh, 500 hours of community service, I'm like, jump. She off jump getting 75. Okay. Off jump 75 hours of community service. I'm like, that's a full week of work almost. Okay. Like legit. And you're doing that in your community. Okay. What has been your favorite part of this so far?
My favorite part is also, I think it's gonna be like making friends. That was most of my favorite parts, and making connection with new people that I don't know. And also, my other favorite part was when we got to go to like the Channel 3. Yeah, that was exciting. I was kind of like, I was nervous even though I wasn't talking. I really enjoyed the experience of being on the news. So.
Yeah.
Yes, girl, made history.
And and I also was happy that I got to like meet the mayor, because that's like a huge opportunity for me. So I'm glad I was able to do that.
Aww. I love that. That is, I was excited about meeting the Congresswoman. That was really fun. Just knowing about our different, again, the ways that we can help our community. What made you say yes to me, to do Miss Juneteenth?
What made me say yes is because I just wanted to try new things. And I really did like Juneteenth. I also remember watching the movie. Have you seen the movie? No, yeah, there's a movie and it's like Miss Juneteenth and it's about her entering the past. Yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
just watch that. Yeah,
okay.
we can watch that.
Yeah. All right. So this Friday you have the fashion show tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. And are you excited about that?
I'm excited. I'm kind of scared for like what poses I'm gonna do, but I feel like once I am there, I feel like I'm gonna be okay.
Okay.
And show more of my confident side and sassy side.
Oh,
Okay, sassy. Once you get into the outfit and you feel it, and once you're doing it, it's like you're already doing it. Yeah. Well, hit me with a heart, okay? Bam.
Hit them with a heart.
Hit me.
When
you see
her.
Yeah.
When you see,
I could do that.
Okay. So, Ms. Marquis, what is the significance of Juneteenth that you are trying to bring awareness to everyone with the pageant? Oh, I like the heart thing.
The significance of Juneteenth is about our culture and our history. It's about our ancestors from 1865, the Emancipation Proclamation, General Order Number 3, and the 13th Amendment, which these are our freedom documents. When you understand where you came from, you understand what people have gone through for you to have the opportunities that you have today, then you can actually make some great decisions for yourself on where you'd like to go to, set some goals and some aspirations for your own life. The other thing is that if, in fact, when you get this information, you haven't been truly clear on all of the things that your ancestors have done and the fights and the things that they've come through, then it gives you a sense of self-worth and value. You are here for a purpose. You are not here by accident. God don't make no junk. You are chosen people, a chosen generation. So therefore, now, with this knowledge, knowing about Juneteenth, the significance of Juneteenth, the hard work that the people put in for you to give you opportunities for yourself going forward. Now you share that, you take that, and you understand why people look at you and say, Queen, go Queen. Yes, King, because you are. You come from royalty. You are royalty. So that's what I'd like them to know. And that's the significance. Yes.
I knew we were spirit
Yes,
animals when we met.
It makes a big
I've been
difference.
telling, I want her to be part of the JLC crew next year, please.
I want to wear a
Okay.
tiara every day. I do.
Absolutely.
I have one on my bed
Yes.
right now, and I was like, Tasha,
She
but I
told
want to wear
these
one every
kids,
day.
she said, when you feel your best, show up in your sash and your tiara. When you are like, this is the day,
This is the day.
you know, like, I know it's like, Bree, are you ready to wear your sash? She like, because again, that's having like that attention. I know that I have issues with having people look at me. I mean, it's like having attention to me is, again, it is a little scary. It
Feel
is.
the same way.
Yeah.
She
But I
my
mean,
child.
nerves is a natural thing, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
sometimes
Yes.
having somebody like Miss Marquis in your life, especially at such a young age, it allows you to try to push through those barriers
Yes.
versus going through your whole entire life not wanting to be seen. And it's not about being seen, it's about just showing up authentically.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who's looking at you and who's not looking at you.
Okay.
But worrying
And
about if
show up for
somebody's
yourself.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Show up for
But
yourself
that's why
because
I
that's
wanted to
really
teach my
what it
baby that.
is. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, that's what I wanted to teach her now versus me being
Absolutely.
in my 40s, and for her to be able to start showing up authentically as herself, because she does, right?
Yes.
She's such a girl's girl, like her
Yes.
mommy. But she really wants people to be their best selves because she tries to be hers.
She definitely be motivating me, huh?
Yeah.
She was checking on my grades, making sure I was. Oh, so where you at in school? Oh, okay, girl, you almost done.
I was like, friend, I was like, Bree, she graduated with a 4.0. She like, what? My friends is a 4.0 too. She like, I can do it though. I know I can.
You can
I
do it.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, what are some things that we can look forward to on Friday for the fashion show?
So the fashion show, Talitha Barris is our producer for the fashion show. Yes, she's part of the
We
Juneteenth
know
Legacy
her.
Council, and she is doing what she's calling Rip the Runway. So the delegates at this time have an opportunity to really use the walking patterns and the fashion to really get a feel of security within themselves, confidence in themselves, really just walk it out. Feel what you feel. When you put a garment on, an outfit on, it definitely speaks something to you. And so you're at this point allowed to be creative and go out and do it. It's going to be our basic T walking pattern, which of course we use for our recitation, right? And so they already have the pattern for the pageant, but now they get to explore it a little bit more, really just pull in and take over on it, if that makes sense. Go over the top. You're putting fashions on. You can play a character. You can, just test it out, feel it out. That's what we get to
Mhm.
see out of our delegates. Now, in the fashion show, she's having Rip the Runway, and she's got some great artists that are coming in and going to be woven into this. We have 5 designers. So we're doing African attire straight from Uganda. They've actually
Yes.
flown these garments in for each
Mhm.
of the young ladies, and Prince Jamamba will be there, which is I'm over the moon that we now have. We're international. Think about that. We're international. We
Yeah.
have international support for our Juneteenth program. We have a new designer, Dion Greer. He's new to Vegas. He's been here a few years, but he's going to be doing our sportswear. So we're looking forward to his clothing. It's called G Clothing. We are, of
Mhm.
course, Talitha Barris's husband, Bobby B. He's got Orlay Worldwide, and he does that eclectic feel. So he repurposes your fashions, takes the old, makes it new. He also does what he calls heirloom pieces. So when he takes an old piece, it might be something that you have that was your dad's or your mom's or a family member that you just really don't want to let go of, but you're not going to wear it. And so he repurposes that piece into something that you can wear. And he'll be doing
Mm.
that with some t-shirt fashions for the young ladies. And then, of course, we have our formal. and that's Larissa Couture. And she's providing our formal wear for the young ladies so that they can really feel like their ball gown princess as they glide through on the stage in their ball gowns, which of course correlates as well to the pageant, scholarship pageant on Sunday, where they will do a gowned section in their walking. So we have a lot to look forward to in the fashion show Friday, because she has now moved it into music and art. So it's not just fashion, but it's fashion, music, and art coming together, and with 5 designers, all different categories, and a real opportunity for the delegates to embrace each one of these parts and pieces whole or just a bite at a time. And that's what I say. It's a lot, but we get through it one bite at a time.
That's so. Well, there's so many layers to this, right? Okay, so straight from Uganda, powerful. 5 people, powerful. Bobby B taking things that's from your people that you don't want to get rid of,
Right.
off the chain, powerful. I think the Burrises are a power couple anyway. And shout out to Talitha and Bobby, because I love them so much.
Yes.
We got pieces
Yes.
from them. I got
Yes,
earrings.
yes, I have pieces from Bobby B, and I just actually took pictures in them so that I could post them. And I wore them to my graduation.
You did.
I wore
You
them to
did.
my graduation. Yeah, so that's amazing. I'm excited. I can't wait to see everything that you guys are putting together and see with the runway. Bree.
I know.
I do have to
what-
correct myself real quick. Sorry, because I didn't mention Shanika Gunn, and that's One Cutie Boutique. And we do a couple of things with her during the year, because she's going to do the business attire for the young ladies. And she has a unique way of dressing the individual, which is really, really cool. So she's not going to take a dress and make you wear the dress. Do you see what I'm saying? She's going to look at you, and she's going to call to the fashion that speaks to the person, and the person speaks to the fashion, and bring that together. She did an amazing job last year with the young ladies, dressing them in their business attire. So I am really looking forward to seeing what she has for our
Me
delegates
too.
this year. Yeah.
Me three.
I'm just wondering what's going to speak to you.
What she says gonna speak to you, because that's how I do makeup too. You know, I don't put it like, I don't want you to look like me. Sometimes they do, but I don't want you to look like me. I want to see what's gonna fit your face best, what you like, how you want to show up, and that is how I want to always be authentic to somebody's face. My daughter do not like makeup, and I'm okay with it. Okay. It was so nice to find something that she was okay with. Like, hey, I don't need the contour. I don't need all the highlight, but you can put a little blush. You can do a little foundation. You can do you can do a little. You can do a little.
A very light on the heavy and the light beat.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fine, because again, the things that I felt like I was nervous about, or how my grandmother raised me, I didn't want to necessarily push that on her. I didn't want to push her body looking a certain way. I didn't want to push her going outside looking a certain way. Now, looking groomed, I want you to not just go outside in your pajamas and your hair all messed up, but having some type of confidence in yourself to make yourself feel however you want to feel, physically on the inside, to show up on the outside, whatever that is to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Absolutely.
I love that little thing. A little. All right. So we do have. So what time is for the fashion show for the people who want to go? If you can give that information, because it's a Friday.
Yes. 7 p.m. 6:30. The doors open. We're at the
7
West Las
p.m.
Vegas
Friday.
Library. At the West Las Vegas Library Theater. And I do want to impress upon you, seriously, there is a lot of construction. So definitely give yourself some time and use some alternative parking over at Doolittle or across the street, because that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So 6:30, the doors open. Get there early so you can find some good parking. The show starts at 7 o'clock and it goes till 9.
Okay. And then for Sunday, the actual pageant, thank you for giving me a break in between that, not back to back. So Sunday.
Sunday, we're again at the West Las Vegas Library Theater. So again, I'm going to preface, make sure you get out early. The show, the pageant, the scholarship program, excuse me, starts at 4 p.m. So the doors will open at 3:30 p.m. Okay, and the scholarship program will go until 6, so 4 to 6 p.m. I do have to preface that if you get there early, either of those events, we do have vending happening in the lobby. And once again, I want to mention that our designers will be there for the fashion show. So please patronize their booths, their tables, as well as the other businesses that will be there to show you what they offer and what they have out in the communities, because we want to support our community. And they are supporting us by being there. So we're very thankful for our supporters.
Well, thank you for that. And then we do have People's Choice. That is a big thing. That is how our community can help our young girls and also help grow Miss Juneteenth pageant as well, because we want more participants, right?
Yes, absolutely.
The more the merrier. So the more we can put that name out to know about it. And I love the way that the scholarship is not just for college. It's if you want to do cosmetology, if you want to do art, if you want to do interior design, like any of those things. A trade. You guys are still wanting to be able to help that. This is really going to help grow.
Give them something to do. Mm-hmm. So can you give us a little bit of information about what the pageant looks like, or how is operated?
Sure. Yeah. The pageant is broken up into 8 categories. So with the 8 categories, we have 4 offstage categories and then 4 onstage categories. When the young ladies sign up or register to be a delegate, they have to do 75 hours of community service. They also have to do community sponsors. They're to get $500 in community sponsors. They can do that with their local businesses, their families, their friends, and they also can use their People's Choice Awards for that. They as well have to turn in a 500-word essay on what Juneteenth means to them. And then they have a judge's interview, which is one-on-one with the judges, 7 minutes on the day of the actual scholarship program pageant. That is all stuff that the audience doesn't see and doesn't know about until we talk about it and tell them what are the other things that they have to do. Then the day of the pageant, they start with their introduction and their walking patterns. Every category has a walking pattern. So the introduction has a walking pattern. The next thing is their recitation. Remember, their recitation is connected to the freedom documents, the Emancipation Proclamation, General Order Number 3, or the 13th Amendment, excuse me. And they only do need to read a section, which of course, with the 13th Amendment, it's not long. So there is only section 1 and section 2, but they're only about a sentence. General Order Number 3 as well, you read it in its entirety. I think it's 4 sentences. The Emancipation Proclamation is quite long, so we allow them to break it into sections. They can read a couple of the paragraphs to start, the middle, or the end, whichever they like. So that is the third thing. They have their own talent. That is a category. So instead of us doing like a bathing suit fashion or anything like that, no, we take that out and we put talent in, because our scholarship program is about educating them about their culture, their history, their ancestry, okay, and their heritage, and also to give them pride. The final category, of course, is for them to walk like a queen. So they're in their gown. So it's formal attire. So those 4 onstage categories, once again, introduction, recitation, talent, and formal wear, so their evening gown. And from that, they are then judged. There are 3 judges that will sit in the audience, and they are scored. So there is a point system. They can get up to 150 points total. So somebody that gets 150 points means they knocked it out the park in every single category. And from the point system, those things that they had to turn in, if you were supposed to do 75 hours of community service and you only did 50 hours, well, then of course you don't get your total points for that category. It's then broken down. And of course, if you don't turn anything in for that category, you get 0 in that category. So we tried to make it so that it's really even for them. And our judges are not local. So I do bring in celebrities and I bring people in that have been in the industry for many years. And the reason I do that is to keep it from having any improprieties. It was really funny because last year's Queen Charlie, she does quite a bit in the community and everybody knows her. And they thought, well, that's why she won. The judges didn't know her. They had to go by what she did. Charlie happens to be a taskmaster. When you give her information, she writes it down, she logs it, she makes sure she turns things in on time. She shows up when she's supposed to be there. She is queen. She was queen material. And
Period.
that actually, right. It was just, and I thought, oh, wow, she's a great example. And I'm so glad that we've had her in the program. I'm looking forward to continuing to work with them because now you don't walk away losing. No one loses. It's not win or lose. These are delegates that transition to ambassadors. When they transition to ambassadors, you'll have a queen, a first runner-up, a second runner-up, and the queen's court. Last year in our queen's court, we've had situations, and you'll see where they did girls that brunch, and they specifically wanted a larger person in pageantry to come and talk to the younger ladies because there was a stigma of, to be in a pageant, you have to be a skinny, thin model. And okay, you can't be, but if that's not you, you're still accepted and you're still valuable and you're still worthy and you should still be there. And so they had her to come and talk with the young ladies and just share her experiences. Besides that, she didn't place in the queen first runner-up or second runner-up, but as the queen's court, we are partnering with other organizations, and we were able to even get her a scholarship for her to go to college. So we are looking at really opening the pathways so that we can get these young ladies to their goals, dreams, aspirations, and desires for the things that they would like to do. And mentorship, because as you know, Marquita, we have mentors come in to see the young ladies and talk to them about different things. Right now, we're trying to get our finance mentor in. Last year, Marquita DeVille came in and she spoke, Marquita DeVille came into one of the other programs, but she talks about finances. And we had Shanika's sister come in and talk to them about finances. But the bottom line is somebody was there and to talk about finances. So this year, they've had Chandra Summers Armstrong, which is our councilwoman for Las Vegas. Then they were just in her office for the flag raisings. We've also had Ms. Black at Las Vegas, Tatiana, who came in and did mentorship with them. Of course, Talitha Barris came in and did mentorship time with them. So we try to make sure that we are opening those doors and giving them real women, successful women that are working in our communities so that moms who have been telling the girls all along, this, and this, they can hear it coming from somebody else and know, oh my gosh, my mother told me that. She was right. Yeah, she was. You should listen to her. So yeah, we're super excited about the program, and you can see that's why I stay so passionate about it. So I'm like, okay, God, all right. And I didn't want a girl. So I have to say that as transparency. I have a son. And I have grandsons. So I don't have girls running around. And so God said, well, since you don't have any girls here, let me let you teach them. So I had over 300 young ladies that have come through the program with me. Many years of women, young girls dancing there. A lot of my students are now 21, which blew me away. I was like, what the heck? What happened? Because I didn't age, by the way.
No, you had not.
Congratulations on doing such an amazing job with these young ladies. You want to go ahead and end it out? We definitely want to thank you for being a guest of love. We are so appreciative of you and everybody in your camp in the Queen's Court. I want a Queen's Court. I think it's amazing, and you guys make sure you support. Don't vote for these young ladies. Yep. There's links. If you guys don't mind putting the links into our chat, I think that can be amazing. And I'm rooting for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for all you guys.
Girls,
I love you, Bree, but I
amazing.
gotta be like root for everybody.
Yeah, I'm rooting for everybody too.
Bree these group of girls are amazing. So
Yes.
We just want to say thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate that. I'm so proud of you, Bree. Okay, I'm just happy that you are branching yourself out. Okay, so please don't forget, next week Thursday, Hot 702.5 will be here next Thursday, talking love, pushing weight. It's mental health month. Also, what's the last thing?
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth and Father's Day. Have a good one.